Hello, Pharma Life family.
Hey, family.
How you doing? You see these two guys right here? Pharma Life family, I want to introduce two wonderful, loving, compassionate, and kind men to you. We've got Ryan McKenna and Ronan. Ronan, what's your last name?
Harvey.
Ronan Harvey, that's right. And Ronan Harvey. I met these guys, well, I met you guys here in this country. Was about
years ago.
Maybe a couple of years ago. No, I think it was less than that. A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I met you, right? This is funny. All right, Pharma Life family. We have a YouTube channel, right? And
You're watching it.
And you're watching it right now. You're watching this right now. But sometimes I get seen in Florida or whatever, and people are like, "Oh my God, it's Brian Calvi." Don't do that. I'm a normal dude, you know. But you know that people watch YouTubes and get a little Star Trek. This guy from Scotland many years back watched all my videos. He used to watch my videos. So at the Thursday market, which is like a fruits and vegetables where we buy for our business, this guy sees me. And at the time, I'm not sure if I had met Ronan yet or not. I don't know.
No, you hadn't.
I hadn't.
He came back very excited, though. He was telling me all about it. I saw today at the farmer's market, I saw this guy. I've been watching him on YouTube for years. His name's Brian. Like, he's an amazing guy. And he's telling me all about you.
Right. Yeah. And so he meets me, and I could tell he was real... Hey, how you doing? I've seen your videos. Oh my God. I thought he was going to pee his pants.
Oh.
You know, and I just said, hey, it's all good. But, you know, here's the beautiful thing. The law of attraction, right? Right? I mean, you know, we talked a little bit about that, about how, you know, you were in Scotland, and you were like, God, I'd like to change my life a little bit. Boom, it puts you here, and bing, bang, boom, you're working for us, and we're going to get into detail about this. And now you're going to be doing a retreat with us soon. And now let's get into some of the details of all this. So, Pharma Life family, as you know, we love to talk about stories and what brings people to changing the way they eat, changing the way they think, and reconnecting to their spirit. And so I would love to hear your guys' stories about how, you know, a lot of us, we live that normal life, you know, drinking, partying, right? Our culture kind of teaches a lot of that. Even in Ireland, we got Ireland here, we got Scotland here. But the first world culture is a first world culture, you know. A certain way of living gets taught to us, and then we're like, well, maybe we don't want that anymore. So talk to talk to the Pharma Life family about your stories and how you got into this alternative way of living. We'll start with Ronan.
Well, growing up in England, you know, I always felt like it wasn't really resonating with how I wanted to live in my life. I'd always been drawn to other cultures, other ideas. I had various strange ideas about becoming a priest or a monk or something, but that didn't work out, thankfully.
Monk Ronan.
Yeah.
You'd be good.
Yeah, I gave it some good consideration, but there's certain aspects of it which I wasn't sure about. Say no more. And you know, it sort of came to a point in my life where I was living in the suburbs in England. I had a 9-to-5 job. I had a girlfriend, and she had a daughter, and it was all quite normal, all quite comfortable. Go to work, go home, watch the TV, go to the pub, go to bed, wake up, do it all over again.
Sounds pretty similar in the United States.
And you know what? It just came to a point where I just woke up and I felt like, is this it? Is this what I've been incarnated to experience as a human? Is this the purpose of my life? To be in this wheel rotating every day, doing a job I didn't really feel passion for, and just existing. And really I felt like, no, actually, it kind of got quite strong with me. It got to the point where I felt, if this is existing, I kind of even don't want to exist. And for me, you know, looking at that choice and really diving into it and going, well, that's not a choice I want to make, so what's my other option? Well, the only other option is to change and to rise and to succeed and to become what I want to be, to transform everything, mutate everything.
Beautiful. And
so I actually, sometime later, I sold everything I owned. It was on New Year's Day, actually, 6 a.m. New Year's Day, and this is someone else I was dating. I turned to them 6 a.m. in the morning and I said, hey, I'm leaving, I'm moving, I'm going to Costa Rica forever. Sorry.
Pretty good attraction, man. Wow.
I've got to do it. And yeah, a month later I sold everything and I was on a plane. And that was 6 years ago. And you know, since then I stopped drinking alcohol, I stopped smoking cigarettes, I've transitioned from being vegetarian to being vegan, and my diet has changed dramatically, my lifestyle has changed dramatically.
Yep.
The way I live, the way I exist, my goals, you know, it's all changed. And it all makes sense, because there was always this sense that what was the main goals in the society I grew up in didn't seem like the most important things, like having a bigger car than my neighbour, having a nicer house, having more stuff, having the gold watch. It just, to me, it seemed sort of irrelevant.
You'd rather grow your heart,
Yeah.
rather than grow your wallet size.
Yeah. And there's always the aspect of searching, you know, what is the ultimate truth? What is it we're here for? Why are we existing? And you dig a bit deeper and it's like, oh, God, there is more. There's so much more. There's so much more. And I always knew it. And coming out here and experiencing the things I've experienced has shown me there is more, and there's always a choice, and there's always ways to change your life. Always.
Always, man. Awesome, Ronan, man. That's awesome. I love to hear stories like that. Well done. And you've done a great job, man. And we'll get into more. I mean, you're a chef, and you're absolutely a photographer, and he's absolutely amazing at what he does. Brother Rai,
Right.
talk to us about your story, man.
So,
Love to hear it.
yeah, my story is very similar along the lines to Ronan's. When I was a teenager, I was very sick. I was actually in hospital with liver problems, and I actually almost nearly died. And that whole thing, looking back in retrospect, ended up being a huge blessing for me, because it sent me on this really deep and long healing journey about self-discovery and self-healing and self-exploration. And it was about six years ago I started getting into the raw food movement, and just through YouTube and watching various leaders on the raw food, I came across Farm of Life in Costa Rica. And this was years before I ended up in Costa Rica. And so coming across the Farm of Life's videos and seeing their whole philosophy and what they do, and seeing Brian and Jody and all the work they do, like, I was very, very inspired. And it started, you know, my mind ticking, and it started me focusing and manifesting on what I really wanted in life. And I knew I wanted this lifestyle. I wasn't unhappy in Scotland, but I knew I wanted to be in this lifestyle, eating the fruits, living the life. And
So it's like, how do I do this?
yeah, and it's funny, and that's why I was so starstruck when I met Brian for the first time in the market. He walked past me and I was like, that's Brian. And
Yeah.
I was like, Brian, hey, I'm Ryan. So it
Little
was,
pea dribbling down
Yeah.
his leg.
and it's amazing how things have turned out, and it's amazing when you really like have a vision and have a goal, and you really want something, and you really like feel it from your heart. You can achieve anything, and now we're here, and we've become really good friends and family,
Yeah.
and like we've worked together, and now next year we're hosting a retreat here.
Well, you know, that's beautiful that you
So-
transition into that, because I was going to speak, you know, back at that market that day, I remember telling Jody, because it's really big for me, a lot like Chris Kendall. When Chris Kendall, I remember meeting Chris Kendall. Hey Chris, what's up, man? I know you're going to see this video. When I saw him in LA, I was like, man, that guy's got a huge heart, and the Farm of Life's about service to others, and I would love to have him serve the farm. A month later, he's at Cost Sundance's retreat, and I've been best friends with him ever since. You was very similar when I met you, even though you were a little bit nervous and, you know, meeting me and stuff like that. I remember telling Jody, I'm like, that guy's got a big heart. I'd love it someday, maybe if there's an opening, we'd love to have him. And I knew you were chefing, you know, and then, right? How about that for a law of attraction? So you're sick, down and out in Scotland, you're not feeling really good, want to come to Costa Rica, you do come to Costa Rica, helping Ronan out, chefing a little bit, you guys are chefs, right?
Yeah,
Working with food, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, you meet me at the market, from YouTubes to being here on the farm, and then working here. So a job, the assistant chef job opens up, and boom, you're here as an assistant chef. Talk to us about that experience, because that was really cool.
So yeah, I was here from January to April, working in the kitchen at retreat season here. So we've done about 9 retreats together, and it was such a beautiful experience during high season. Like I learned so much being here. I connected the farm of life is such a beautiful land, and the energy here is really, really special, because you can see of the vortex of the land, and we're in the Diamante Valley, so the energy of the land here is so high, the vibration's so high, the trees, the plants, you can see the ocean and the mountains, and the spirits here are just very, very high. It's such a beautiful, potent place for healing.
So the retreats, and you and I are doing a lot of talking, so we have a lot in common, right? So we're talking a lot, and retreats are coming in and out, and you know, I notice, you know, you have a following on Instagram and on Facebook, and remember, we were sitting in the restaurant, you know, and just shooting the breeze, talking about consciousness. We always have like some kind of, Ryan and I and Ronan too, always some kind of crazy, you know, how to change your life and how to raise your vibration conversations, which are normal here. You know, the weird conversations are normal here, and they're well accepted, right? And then I just looked at you and I said, well, why don't you do we got an opening next year? Why don't you do a retreat, right? And you were like, yeah. The light bulb came on, right? And we were just like, yeah, let's try it. Let's do a retreat. You know, and then I was like, yeah, you can have Ronan help out. These two guys are really good friends. They're like best friends. So like, well, you know, Ronan can do a retreat here. And that's kind of how it all began, right? While he was assistant chefing last year here at the retreat season. So let's talk about your retreat, right? Right? Because you guys have these philosophies, you know, these beautiful philosophies that farmer life are so in alignment with. First of all, what's the name of your retreat? I like it.
So the name of our retreat is called Integrated Soul Detox.
Integrated Soul Detox. Say that fast 10 times. Integrated Soul Detox.
Integrated
I love it,
Soul
man.
Detox. So yeah,
I love it. So what are the things, like, you know, during this retreat, you know, what are the things that you're going to be, you know, you guys are going to be doing?
Well, Ryan's obviously expert and passionate about detoxification in all its forms.
And
so,
more in the physical.
Yeah, in the physical realms. Having explained some of my story, I have a bit more of a deeper understanding of some of more of the emotional struggles that we go through as humans, and how to work with them, and what tools we can use to actually deal with that on a day-to-day basis and manage it.
Nice. So we're going to be working a little bit on letting go of these emotions, you know, letting go of, let's say, well, I always say shame, guilt, fear, and anger, and how can we bring that love and happiness and joy in, you know? And then on you're always talking about liver detox, right? Gallbladder cleanses, breath work, using sound therapy. And this guy he's a great singer. Nice. He plays the guitar. I mean, you know, there's going to be a lot of chanting going on, right?
Yeah, Brian's going to be doing sun gazing.
Yeah.
So that's another big integral part. We want to be teaching about the 4 elements and how...
Very important.
How we can... a key aspect to health, first of all, is having a connection to the 4 elements.
Yep.
So sun gazing is one of those things.
Yeah, sun, connecting to the 7 spectrums of light, right, that the sun has. The sun is just simply a mirror of us. We're the 7 chakras. The sun emanates the 7 chakras. As we stare at it, we open up energetically. Everything's energy, right? Air, as we breathe deep. The air has all 7 chakras in it because it's been charged by the sun and the earth, right? Yep. And then we walk barefoot walking. The earth pulses at 9.6 hertz. Right? Opening up those points, those reflexology points in our body. And water. What are we? We're mostly water in space, right? So watch your thoughts, right? And so we're going to be talking about in this retreat, bringing that shame, guilt, fear, and anger, and bringing back to love, gratitude, happiness, and joy. Because your water, your blood picks that energy up, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's how it brings transformation. So these are the things that the farm and these two guys are going to be teaching, along with, right? And I think we're going to throw some pictures in there. Hikes to beautiful waterfalls, right?
Yeah. Nayaka, like National Geographic top 10.
Yep.
Top 10 the most beautiful epic waterfalls.
1997, it was number 7 in National Geographic as far as top waterfalls in the world. Nayaka, it's just a couple kilometers down the road, and it's a nice, easy breezy hike, and we enjoy a beautiful afternoon there. You'll see pictures. Peace Falls, a very, very special place as we do plant ceremonies there. We're getting ready to go there today, as a matter of fact. There's going to be a plant ceremony tonight, so we're preparing. Peace Falls is a wonderful place to do plant ceremony. It's a very, very special place to us. Another beautiful place, and you'll see some pictures there.
Yes.
Other things.
The food, of course. We're
Yeah.
really lucky to be here with one of the best chefs in the world, in my opinion.
Anna Banana.
Anna Enderez.
Anna Hata's Offerings, we love you.
Yeah, we'll put Anna's link down below to check out all our Instagram and Facebook, but Anna's one of the most incredible...
Top chef.
Top raw vegan and vegan chefs in Costa Rica, hands down. She's wonderful, and we've both had the pleasure of working with Anna, and like I've learned so much from her. She's so passionate about her food, and she just, as Ronan says, she achieves greatness with her food.
Greatness.
She really does, and she's amazing at it. And your retreat's going to be vegan, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit of cooked food, a little bit of cooked vegan, mostly a lot of raw food mixed with a little bit of cooked vegan. Is that correct?
Yeah. So it's going to be predominantly raw. Like throughout the day, we'll be doing mostly fruits and juices and fresh salads, and at night we'll have some cooked options for people who are transitioning into the vegan diet. So we're going to be catering for everyone, but they will be full vegan. So
that's great.
The food is an integral part of the healing process. So we want to make sure everyone's going to be happy with the food,
and of course it's super healthy, but it's incredibly delicious. That's the thing people forget sometimes with healthy food. It tastes exceptional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into another beautiful night that's going to happen right on your retreat, and that's a ceremony, and that's a plant medicine ceremony. What will happen during this particular retreat is you're being prepared, right? You're eating the right foods, you're working on intentions, you're moving into happiness and gratitude and joy with the yoga that we're offering, with the food that you're eating, the barefoot walking, the sun gazing, and then a nice intense night with a plant ceremony, right?
Yeah.
Where all of these chakras that we just talked about that come from air, water, earth, and sun, within 45 minutes to an hour or so, it's, I always say there's very few foods that will go right into the sixth chakra. The sixth chakra is I am what's out of sight. I am in the dream worlds, right? But it's in the dream worlds, right, where we can create and change in this world. Right? And so there's one night where you're going to be working on plant ceremonies.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so over the past couple of years here in Costa Rica, I've had some very, very beautiful experiences in plant ceremonies and different plant medicines, and they're just such an amazing key to unlock so much of our human potential. And one night and one day of ingesting these plants, that we can really just take our health, take our mind to the next level. A lot of the medicines help us to clear the clutter in the mind. It's almost like a psychic detox. We'll be doing a lot of physical detoxing with the food and some of the workshops and everything we're doing, but also just as important as the mind.
It's like you're having your own little personal psychotherapy there for one night. Psychotherapist there for one night, really working with you. As you're coming down here and you're like, I really want to work on myself, and this particular plant can just take you to another. Everything's energy, right? It can take you to another vibration where it can just aid you, give you that little extra push to let go. Right, Ronan? Your thoughts on it?
It's, in my opinion, it's an extension of meditation. It's taking that mindfulness and allowing yourself to go deeper and deeper and further into it and explore things. I mean, I'll put it like this. How often do we as humans sit down for 12 hours in silence and give consideration to our lives and our thoughts and what we want from our life?
I like that.
Just that on its own is a really powerful tool, but when you have the assistance of plants that actually give you deeper insight and allow you to explore the truths that you've always felt, but perhaps you weren't confident enough to see or to understand. For me, it comes back to transformation. It's the chance to look at things in a different way, see why feelings are there, see why things have happened in your lives a certain way, and to allow yourself to see where they've led you and to see what transformations have occurred. A lot of things we've see in our lives at the time, we see them as something that's bad that's happened. They've really brought us to where we're meant to be.
It's lessons, right? Just teachings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Life is a big classroom, you know, and that in particular night can be quite a classroom. You can learn so much. You can really clear a lot away in a very short amount of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, defrag the hard drive.
Yep, exactly.
Reorder everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, just give clarity, actually, really. It's
Yep.
clarity.
Yep.
Number one, for the healing. The biggest aspect of it is the healing, always.
Mm-hmm.
What is cleared out.
Yep.
Right.
What is removed, what is released, what is transformed.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then, as we say...
Yeah, and also, I mean, Ronan and I were very experienced musicians, and
They sure are.
we were in service in that night in the ceremony. We assist and hold space with the music.
They do an amazing job at that too. Thank you guys.
Yes, Ronan. I play guitar and sing, and Ronan drums. So that's another gift that we like to share with you guys as our music, and even the music in and of itself is such potent medicine. So that's another thing we have. Will probably be around the campfire at night. So beautiful campfire at Farmer Life.
Oh yeah.
And there's a great view out, looking out into the mountains, and so every night we'll be sitting around the campfire and singing music and jamming and telling stories and just having laughs and giggles and opening up. You know, it's a place where you can come here and surrender and let go and be vulnerable, and we're all here on this together. And
Yep.
to be in this space, especially if we're doing certain plant medicines, to be safe in a safe container, and people who are experienced and people
Right.
who love you and want to listen to whatever you have to say. And
yeah, the
here.
connections as well. There's always connections made every time a group of people like this come together. It's connections for life, because
Sure. Family.
we all have similar goals in life, in what we want to experience, what we want to achieve in our lives.
Sure.
I mean, we met at the Raw Food Ninja stall, right?
Yeah.
Raw Food Ninja.
Yeah,
Cool.
Vision Festival.
Yeah.
And we were both there eating cacao truffles and maca shakes and chaga reishi drinks and everything.
Nice.
And look,
Yummy.
you know, all these years later, we're
Buddies.
It was love at first
Get ready
sight.
to
Best
retreat.
friends.
I love it. I love it. So I'm really excited about this retreat. Again, what's the name of it?
Integrated Soul Detox Retreat.
Integrated Soul Detox Retreat with Ryan and Ronan. It's going to be in April, coming up here in 2018.
April 8th to the 15th.
April 8th to the 15th. And where, if you want to sign up for this, let's talk about websites now.
So the project we have together is called Unified Creations.
I like it.
And so it's Ryan the Wellness Warrior and Ronan Harvey Elementalism, and together we've created Unified Creations to encompass all that we do, and not just us, in the future others as well.
Nice. And that's unified, so if someone wants to sign up for this retreat, they go to unifiedcreations.com or...
On Facebook, and there's links on that Facebook page to the website as well.
Yeah.
You have links on your personal page
Yeah,
as well?
also Facebook, you can find us on Facebook, Ryan McKenna and Ronan Harvey. If you search for us, feel free to send us a private message. On Instagram...
Wait, so who's the shamanic leprechaun?
So, okay...
That's you?
Well, we're both shamanic leprechauns, but
Nice.
I'm known as on Instagram, the shamanic leprechaun,
Oh, that's Instagram, okay.
and Instagram, elementalism.
Okay.
Nice.
And you can find out information about it on the website elementalism.net as
Yeah.
well, which contains
That's a lot of
bit
stuff.
of background about like our philosophies to do with food.
Sure.
There's some nice photography on there, and there's a page about the retreats as well.
Yeah, you can also
Beautiful.
sign up via the Farm of Life website too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're going to put all those links, so as you're hearing this, all those links are going to go down there at the bottom of this video, so you guys will be able to find, if you're interested in this, you'll be able to find these guys, learn even more about them via the written word on the internet. And I just think it's going to be a great retreat. These are two very good friends of mine. I've gone, you know, we've had deep discussions, the three of us. We've gone down the rabbit hole
We've
quite a
gone
bit.
down the rabbit hole. We've sang together, cried, cards
Absolutely.
together.
Absolutely. They've even left me for dead once.
On the steps
We're
of a Catholic
dead.
church.
But there's still, but the heart, it was like leaving me for dead with the heart.
We
Right?
knew you were a powerful man.
Yeah,
Brian.
it was.
We trusted the process.
It was like he'll be fine, man. It was like this. It was like we're gonna leave you with love. That's what they did. They left me with love, and I love them for it. I love you guys, seriously, and I'm looking forward to this retreat. I am,
Yes.
because I know it's going to attract amazing people.
And it's really important. It's not just to come here and experience it, but it's to learn skills you can take away and apply in your everyday life.
Absolutely.
What you'll learn about how to cook well, how to live well, how to eat well, how to meditate,
How to breathe.
how to breathe, how to
Walk
sun
barefoot,
gaze,
sun gaze, whatever, any of it, right? All having to do with like living. I always say I try not to judge someone living, let's say you're living a lower vibration life, or you're living a higher vibration. I always say, well, if you think you're living a denser life and you want to live a lighter life, well, this is one way. This retreat and everything that gets taught around here that we just talked about is one way, maybe to tread a little bit more lightly in your life, where maybe pain and suffering might not come in so much. How about that? You know, if that's a choice you want to make, this would be a good idea.
Absolutely.
Love you guys. Love you, Farmer Life family.
Bye.
So see you next April, guys.
See you next April.
Pura vida.